Hello, friends, and welcome to Pod Return to the Waking Sands. We are a Final Fantasy XIV companion podcast where we explore the lore and story of Hydaelyn and beyond. My name is Jen, and I'm joined by my co-host and researcher.
I'm Levi.
You're Levi. Hi, Levi.
Thanks for telling me who I am.
Hugh I am. Hugh you are. You said it weird. You said Hugh.
I'm sorry, Jen. I am just getting warmed up.
Oh, great. Strap in, folks.
Oh, no. Anyway, today we are going to conclude the Zodiac Weapon saga.
Like for reals?
For reals.
For really reals.
Yes. And Jen knows this because...
No, I actually did it, yes.
Jen finished this not 2 hours ago.
My God. I updated my portrait and everything because, if you have a relic weapon, you gotta put it in your portrait.
That's the rule.
Yes.
So Jen is now post-Zodiac. Congrats, Jen.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been like 15 months.
But before you can bask in your post-completion glow, Jen...
Of course.
We have to go back in time to our past selves, past Jen especially, who was still struggling.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jen. It'll all be worth it. Though, the dreadworm bow that I got from doing binding coils is relic level, so...
Well, sure, because the way they do raid gear is the top tier, whatever raid, I believe, is the equivalent item level to the relic, though they may have different stats. And of course, once you have poetic gear issued, it's essentially made irrelevant.
Right.
So.
But it looks pretty.
But it looks pretty, and that is the true victory, Jen.
Indeed. True endgame.
Anyway, we are going to sign off in the present and turn it over to the past. Here we are, Jen, with our relic log starting on December 6, 2024. You got your notes pulled up, Jen?
So the last time... Okay, so we're starting here with the drunk treasure hunter guy, right?
We are going to meet up with Guiding Star in Mordona. So this is part of... We broke off here partway through. We had just finished off with Papana, who's the one who's like, just one more thing. Just one more thing.
Right.
The next person is Guiding Star, and they want some, like, relic bullshit. Well, not like capital R relic, but some antiquities bullshit. They're going to help us get our component. We need some Allegan resin to glue all that relic shit together.
Sure.
Because that's how it works.
Yeah, resin. Blech.
So we're going to go to the Southern Thanalan Allegan ruins to get some, which we can do so for the low, low price of 100,000 gil.
Oh, God. Everything costs 100,000 gil. And I'm like, this is prohibitive, man.
I have in my notes, Jen is shocked by the price.
Yeah. Like everything else is like, right, 250 gil, 57 gil. And then this one thing, 100,000 gil.
Do you have this stuff in your notes, Jen?
No.
Okay. I think this is where we were doing this very late at night. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, Jen, I will just copy paste what happens to you.
Yes.
And then I did. And then that's where it stops.
And that's where it stops.
Great. Okay. Well, you can take over later on once we catch up to your notes. So after Jen is shocked by the price, we have to do some more BS for this guy. Big surprise. We now need a Veil Bubo from Aurum Vale. So we go back there again. And Void Weave from Hawk Manor Hard. Now we turn that shit in, and guess what? We need more materials to toughen up this compound we're making for the weapon. So now we need some Amdapor Vellum from Amdapor Keep and an Indigo Pearl from Sestasha Hard. Finally, we have all the things. We just have to mash them all together in a perfect mortar and pestle. High quality.
Perfect mortar and pestle.
Jen, do you have a guess as to where these things come from?
I mean, I didn't. I had no clue.
But now,
just
from this
Silver Bazaar.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a perfect item. Therefore, you have to go to Silver Bazaar, desynth the stuff, get the stuff. You give it to me for me to make, both of us, our high quality whatevers.
Otis, she's not a master crafter yet, so she's working on it.
Get good, Jen.
I'm getting good.
At crafting.
I'm getting a little better anyway.
Aren't we all? So we do the thing, and oh wait, we have to go get a bombard core and sacred spring water. Good thing we stocked up on those at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So we hand them over, and the guy mashes it all together into a big ball of
amazingness,
weird shit. And we get the Zodium. That is the second collectathon done of this quest step. Now is the drunk guy, aka Brangwine. Or rather, Brangwine is the drunk guy's mom. She's the guy who wanted the stuff from the dead adventurers. You recall that, Jen?
Right, yeah. She's like, they're not going to use it. I'll take it.
Yeah, but she wants stuff specifically from dead adventurers.
Yeah, because
not stuff in general, just like dead guys only.
Yeah, no. Adventurers, they have good stuff. They are discerning.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the goal here is to get her to give us some Alexandrite, so we gotta get her a few things. Big surprise. She wants a bombard core to heat up her bath and sacred spring water to wash her clothes in.
Yeah, all of this, she has all this really fancy, very expensive stuff to like do chores around the house. Like,
she also wants a nice kettle.
Oh, hey, we know a guy.
Jen, how much does that kettle cost? You get one guess.
100,000 gil?
Yes.
Ugh. God.
So she is very pleased by this, but she is saving up to give her son a nice inheritance, so she can't buy them for herself. She will help us out if we can only convince her son to stop adventuring.
Yeah.
Even though she puts him in danger herself over that map business that she has him doing.
She's enabling, for sure.
Lady is sketch.
Yeah. But, she also doesn't want him to follow in his father's footsteps and lose his life to treasure hunting and the drink.
So here comes another insulting relic weapon step. Her son, Ildwine, is drunk in Swift Perch. He slurs about not giving up hunting until he can get his mom something nice. So we have to help him, of course, by collecting the lost treasures of Amdapor Keep, Pharos Sirius, and Tamtara Hard. But he is not yet satisfied. What wrinkly scrote thought these were worth putting in a treasure coffer?
You and me both, man.
He's got one more lead, though. It's Stone Vigil Hard.
Surely there will be something amazing in there.
But no, the treasure of Stone Vigil Hard is more garbage. So obviously he's got to keep on trying because he has failed so far through proxy. Us being the proxy.
Right, yeah, we're kind of doing all the work here, but...
But we can win over his mother to make her give us the stuff by giving her some high-quality, tailor-made eel pie and a piece of perfect cloth.
Hey, that sounds like a job for Levi.
Once more, we go to the Silver Bazaar, we desynth the stuff, we make the high-quality stuff, and we turn them in. This placates Mama Brangwine. Her son has a good heart after all, so she will part with the Alexandrite to us.
Yay!
And now, Jen, I think you have notes for this. This is Adkin in Central Thanalan.
Yes.
Take it away, please.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Oh, so Adkin is a disciple, I guess we could say, of Mutamix. And he's engaging in some kind of competition with Hubertan. Though I don't think Hubertan even realizes it.
He is vying for Mutamix's favor because he wants to be the new hotness.
Yeah, Mutamix's right-hand guy.
In the Materia camp.
Apparently it's a very competitive business up in here.
Yeah, he thinks that those sphere scrolls we got last time were nothing cool.
Nothing cool.
So he's going to do the serious
cool
scroll.
Yeah. Like his scroll is going to be so much scrollier.
And sphere-ier.
Correct. And so what he wants is some blood to make this ink. And it can't just be normal blood. It's got to be like king's blood. So we have to go get 4 different kinds of blood from 4 different quote-unquote kings. But they're not like literal kings. One of them...
Jen, the first one is the literal Tonberry king. How much more
yeah, okay.
kingly do you get than that?
Okay, yeah.
He's got a crown.
Well, the third one is also the Kraken. He's not actually like a king,
That's
but
a metaphorical king. King of the deep.
right, sure.
The last one is the BS. The last one is the fucking vice regent. His title is vice regent, not king.
Yeah, not normal regent.
Yes.
Max regent.
That's from Karn Hard. The second one is the imprisoned king in Copperbell, which is also a king, so to speak.
Yes. So we get all of these bloods, and we return them to Adkin. And he chooses to taunt Hubertin as part of their ongoing alchemical feud. So the Vice Regent's blood, that of the Forgotten King, makes the fourth blood, and he can finally make this ink. But this ink can't touch any old paper. No. It must be perfect vellum, paired with perfect pounce for adhesion. So off to the Silver Bazaar we go. We desynth some shit, a bunch of shit, to get the stuff, to make the perfect stuff.
Jen, what's a pounce?
In this context, I don't know.
It is the
like
stuff you sprinkle on parchment to dry the ink.
Oh.
Jen should know that with your fountain pen fetish.
Well, wow, fetish is a strong word there. But the ink is, it's like the ink of the future, because what year is it? And
the ink of the future today.
The ink of the future today.net.
It's .com.
Homestyle10.net. It's .com. It's .com. What was I going to say? Oh, right. No, my ink dries. It dries. Okay. It's fine.
But
I don't need no pounce.
I bet it would feel cooler to sprinkle a little something on that.
You're not wrong. And now I would need a special pounce distributing brush with maybe like a turned glass blown handle or a rare kind of wood. And now we've got a whole other rabbit hole going on. Another reason to spend $80 on a thing. Anywho, so we return with the perfect stuff. And Adkin is clearly, though he tries to fake it, perturbed about our efficiency in getting this stuff. He was hoping for more time because the ink isn't working right, and he decides that he needs 3 more things for the ink to work. He needs a bombard core, a sacred spring water, and fluorite sand. These are all very rare, and they're all very expensive. Though months ago, we bought the right amount of bombard cores and sacred spring waters. So I still had these. I had these last 2, the bombard core and the sacred spring water. They had been sitting in my inventory for months. And finally, I was able to be like, please take this. And he took them. So anyway, finally, this guy, we come back with the
Jen,
stuff.
Where does the sand come from?
Oh, the fluorite sand.
Yeah. It comes from White Brim Front in Kurthus.
Right.
For
100,000 gil.
Yeah.
So we return with these 3 new things that apparently he also needed. And finally, he's like, yay, I'm happy to see you.
He doesn't go, yay, I'm happy to see you. He goes, now I will prove I'm the smartest person ever, etc., etc. Right. Now, surely Master Mutamix will notice me.
Senpai, yes. I will dip my quill into our ink, and with trembling fingers draw symbols of power upon the vellum. The completion of your scroll is now at hand. So he hands over Eorzea's first Zodiac scroll. Doo-doo-doo. I wish him well in his endeavor to become Mutamix's right-hand man, if only to stop him being a twat to Hubert 10. So scroll in hand. Could this be the final step of the relic? We head to Hearstmill and check in with Geralt. Spoilers, it is not. Considering the level of excitement witnessed by both Geralt and Jalzan.
Jen, first off, who do we talk to once we get back to Hearstmill?
Jalzan? Geralt. It's Geralt.
Yes. But Jen, what do you have to do first before talking to Geralt? Equip your relic weapon.
Oh my god, okay. So this always gives me absolutely a sting of panic every time I go back to Hurstmill and the quests are still red. I'm like, what haven't I done? I swear I've done everything. And it's always either unequip your shit or equip your shit. Do those things and the quests will become available to you. I never remember to do this. It's not obvious. It doesn't tell you.
Nope. So we have our weapon on and we say we found all the bits and Jalzan's all, okay, let's get to work. But Geralt says, hold it. We have to join these things with special materia to infuse the host weapon with the power of souls. So Jalzan gets all hyped.
Yeah, he was like, ooh, let's
more materia.
Logic this out. Yes.
Get more stuff. How about 10 pieces of Atma? 20 pieces? 50 pieces surely will be enough to do this thing.
Meanwhile, as he's saying this, I'm like, no, please, no. Shut up. And our character is even like aghast. Like, don't you dare send us back out to get more Atma. I swear to God.
Geralt says, no, the power is right here. Inside this weapon all along. We just have to turn the soul energy in the relic into materia, which will take a master of materia.
Oh.
So that's Mutamix.
That's Mutamix. So we go back. We were just there, but we go back. And Mutamix agrees that this is a difficult undertaking, even for his genius self. The reference to him being a genius is my own, because he is. He would never. He's not an Adkin, all right?
He has the shiver shakes.
The shiver shakes. Because he's nervous. He worries. He's got the shiver shakes. This will result in a failure. And if he fails...
It is very big chance game.
Big chance game.
Even with the knowings of Mutamix, cannot give word bond of success. Brain case filled with doubtful buzzing muchly.
Yes.
If Mutamix is failing, legendary fighty tool will turn to bitty bits.
And we will lose the soul stuff.
But all the same,
Airy selves.
He will help if we are unweak of bladder.
That's us. That's what they say.
Like that dog.
That's my title in game. Unweak of bladder. Aww. He was really excited.
We just ran into a golden retriever on the way here that was so happy to see Jen that it peed in the hallway.
Yeah. Warner was about to take it out to go pee and it just went in the hallway. So sweet. It's a tile floor. It's fine.
So we're back in Hurstmill now with Mutamix. At long last, it's time to recreate the relic weapon. We hand over all the goods and the team assembles. Geralt tunes up the host weapon to look just like the legend of old. And now it's Mutamix's turn. And Jin's like on voice chat, hey, Levi. And I know from her tone that she is right here.
Why does it do this? Like, just sadistic. Completely. So, Geralt makes the thing, right? And we hand it over to Mutamix. And Mutamix is, again, full of the shiver shakes. And he's like, there's the chance that I'm going to turn this weapon into bitty bits. And we're going to lose all the airy self. And then the warning pops up. The chance of success is 1.4%. Are you sure you want to proceed?
The relic will be lost if the process fails.
And this is when I was like, hey, Levi, did we fuck up? Is this percentage supposed to be higher? Or is this like a test of will? I'm supposed to just click yes and trust the process. And it is the latter. So I click yes. But then another warning pops up. Are you sure? You will lose everything. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't know who to trust anymore. But I just do it and it's fine.
So let the chance game of hearty thumps begin.
Lo and behold, Mutamix does it. Success muchly. Now, Jalzan finishes with the Zodiac Scroll and the Alexandrite, And ta-da!
So they merge this super cool materia with the host weapon, and our weapon, our true relic weapon, is born. For me, he says, "Come, take your Ragnarok, born of stars' radiance, forged through the hero's might, and imbued with soul's blessing."
Oh, he told me the same thing.
Come take your Ragnarok, Jen?
My Yoichibo.
Well,
Yoichibo.
now that that's all done, Jalzan can return home a man content. He has done what he came here to do. We now have a fully complete, all T's crossed, all I's dotted relic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So he can go home and he will gift Geralt with an exquisite liquor as a parting gift. But he says that we should hand it over. So we trot over to the forge.
The description on this thing: distilled in Jalzan's private cellarage using a recipe handed down through his family for 16 generations, give or take a few. These mind-clearing, belly-warming, lacquer-removing spirits are as sweet on the lips as the sun's kiss, which is why it's called sunshine. And Geralt, he is over the moon for this, but he's like, why can't Jalzan just say goodbye in person? What a weirdo. But in any case, he was thinking about our weapon, and he decided to do a little bit more research into the Braves' history. So he got his hands on a stack of books from Rowena. And in one of them, he read about the weapons exhibiting a kind of sentience, where as each brave used their weapon, it became easier and lighter and more intuitive for them to use, as if the weapon was adjusting itself to be perfectly in tune with the wielder. And this characteristic explains why these weapons achieved legendary status and were eventually lost to time, because you can't pass down a weapon that is perfectly shaped and suited for one particular user. So Jalzan walks up and he overhears this conversation. Of course, this stirs his scholarly soul, and he's immediately intrigued and asks if Geralt thinks our new weapon is capable of the same thing. And Geralt's like, absolutely. So it's just that the power within has not been awakened yet. So now we have to figure out how to reach the soul within the weapon and attune it to our own. So Jalzan's like, ooh, what can we do? What can we do? So we got a crystallized soul, though stronger than Atma, should do it. It would create like a resonance between the souls, hopefully like awakening it. So, and with this crystallized soul, source TBD, we hold it nearby as we wield the weapon. Perhaps this will be enough of a trigger and everything will start going magical and stuff. So Geralt says to go speak to Rowena about a black market contact of hers named Riemann. So we go to Rowena and she's like, yeah, I know the guy. I know this Riemann guy. Getting him to agree to work with us, and by extension Geralt, is going to be like a whole thing. Capital W, capital T. You see, she says, back in the day, Riemann lent Geralt a ton of money. And when it came time to pay it back, Geralt tried to back out of it. He ran away. There was a big fight. Rowena eventually ended up having to pay it back on Geralt's behalf. But, I mean, that doesn't matter because, Riemann got his money back, but the whole thing left him with a huge grudge against Geralt. He fucking hates the guy, even 20 years later. But Geralt knows where Riemann hangs out. Rowena does not. So she's like, you need to go ask Geralt where this guy hangs out. They got to figure it out. So back to her smill we go. It turns out Riemann hangs out at fucking Swift Perch. Or at least he used to. And Geralt's like, even if you found him, he's not just gonna forgive me and decide to work with you. I could apologize until the end of time. It's not gonna be enough. So, well, fucking now what? Jalzan, once again, walks up. He overhears us talking about this stuff. And he's like, well, maybe instead of a spoken apology.
You missed, Jen, that Geralt thinks that it was more the woman than the money that this grudge is founded over.
Maybe a little bit of both.
But he will not elaborate.
Right. Neither of them want to talk about the other. Like...
Anyway, so Jalzan comes here and he's like, hey, why not give a gift as an apology, such as maybe that sweet liquor that you just came into, Geralt.
Yeah, he was like, give him something that he loves. And what does Riemann love? And Geralt's like, well, he does enjoy a fine liqueur. And Jalzan kind of is like, oh, really? Might you have one of them? And Geralt's like, no, fuck you. No, that's mine. I earned that shit. No, how dare you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, fine. And this was funny because, so while I'm in this scene, as soon, the moment that Geralt finished saying, for the sake of the bloody Zodiac weapon, I'll part with me bottle of sunshine, it started raining. Boom.
Bam.
Symbolism. Well, Riemann hangs out in Swift Perch, apparently. Geralt asks if Jalzan is able to concoct a potion with the ingredients and the equipment that he brought over from Rodzathan. And he's like, yeah, but why? And Geralt is like, well, he read about some kind of alchemical need when we start the soul awakening process. We don't know what that's about yet. Whatever. Apparently Jalzan's going to have to make a potion at some point. So we go to Swift Perch and say hello to Riemann. He is a nice guy. He's got some douchebag glasses on, but he's a nice guy. And he's like, yeah, Geralt sucks.
This is a dark-skinned, sunglasses wearing, long, bleach blonde hair.
No, he's like Dog the Bounty Hunter.
He looks like a washed-up wrestler.
Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yeah. No. We're on the same page here.
I don't know who that is, Jen.
Well, his skin is much better, but...
Great.
That's amazing you don't know who that is.
Anyway, though, he will help us once we gift him the sunshine, but he will not forgive Geralt.
Yep. He's like, fine, I'll help you guys. You seem nice. We're like, well, we are nice.
And he has just what we need. He has these Mahatma.
Ooh, they're like Atma, but like Mahat.
There are 12 types of Mahatma, and he will share them with us in exchange for poetics. Reminder, Jen, you gotta do some poetic writing.
I gotta do some poetic writing, yes.
To close this out.
No problem. I'll do just MSQR ad nauseum.
Once should do it, I think.
Because we've got, 6 more to go?
We have 6 more to go, and they're 50 per, so
yeah.
I think one MSQR will get you there.
Sweet.
Anyway, yeah, so he will trade us those Mahatmas for poetics. Nevermore will Rowena be his, but he still wants to give her some sweet, sweet tomestones. So the woman was Rowena.
Yes.
Big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get to work. This is just like light farming.
But this goes so much faster.
We are now charging up 12 individual Mahatma, which means that we have to do some more Aramvale farming. So, Jen, it's 3 runs per Mahatma,
2.
right? Is it 2 runs?
Yep.
Okay. So it's 2 runs per Mahatma, which means that we have to run Aramvale 24 times to get these all charged up.
Which is, if you run that all straight, it's a little over an hour. If you're doing 2.5 minutes per run.
But we got halfway through and Jen's like, I'm done.
It was late.
Jen was sick of this shit.
I was tired. Also, we were supposed to play Core Keeper after, and it was so late we didn't even get to do that. So I was just like, meh.
Oh, were we that night?
Oh, yeah. We were supposed to do both. You're like, let's just do a little relic work before Core Keeper. And then it just went so long that we didn't have time for it.
Maybe that's from the half-hour-long note-taking session somehow.
You shut up.
You shut up. Do you shut up, though, for real, Jen? Because we're done with this installment.
With pleasure.
So we have 1 more bit to go. We have 6 more Mahatma, Jen, and then 1 more thing until we're done.
Fuck me. Okay. We can see it. It's on the horizon. There it is.
It is on the horizon.
Winking at us with its little fucking anus winking. It's fine. I'm very excited. I'm sure it'll be delightful and pretty, and then I can be like, look at my relic weapon, everybody.
And welcome back, Jen, to the present.
Yay!
This is our final installment happening in real time.
Yeah, we're here.
We are live recording our final bit.
We're going to talk about it. And
yeah. We had just farmed some Arum Veil. We're on the final weapon step. This is the, what is it? Atma?
Mahatma.
There we go. Mahatma.
Mahatma. I tip Mahatma to you.
And we did even more Arum Veil farming.
Yet more.
And afterwards, we return to Jalzan.
Yeah, so we head back to Hearstmill. When you finish the Mahatma stuff, you get a nice little splash screen that says this shit is done.
Except not.
It's not, but you're basically good to go. But we go back to Hearstmill, desperately trying to convince ourselves that this is gonna wrap the whole thing up. So we talk to Jalzan, and he asks us, "Does sentience stir within your Zodiac weapon? Then the time is nigh to end its dreaming."
Jin, where is your Zodiac weapon? We cannot awaken the sentience within unless it is in your possession.
Yeah, you know what? Strapped to my back, but I can see how that would be confusing to you after all this time. So let me go ahead and take it off of my back and put it here in my armory chest that I carry around with me at all times. And then you can rifle through that and find it and then be like, apparently that's so much easier for you. Okay?
At this point, Geralt is in charge, largely.
Yeah. He walks over. He's like, something big's going on over here. Hey.
You may recall last time that Geralt had Jalzan whip up a special potion while we were out farming.
And Jalzan was like, I don't know what you want this for, but I'll do it.
Yep. So now it's time for the reveal. Geralt explains that in one of the tomes he gathered, the Book of the Netherdark, its pages hold the last truth o' the Zodiac weapons. In ages past, demons known by the name Zodiac would appear. When they did, a hero wielding a shining weapon would arise to strike the fiends down. But the secret trivia is that the weapons were not wreathed in light until they tasted the demon's blood. But we have no demon blood on hand, though we do have an ether-rich potion that should serve the same purpose.
Aha! So Jalzan takes his quasi-soul potion and applies it. He slathers our weapon up real good and then hands it over to Geralt. Geralt finishes the forging.
He can feel the weapon responding to me touch like a wonder. I can feel the soul inside trembling, like it's aching to wake up.
Aching.
So let's give it what it wants. Jen, this is getting to be uncomfortable.
It's just hurting for a squirtin'. So,
but finally, it is
at last
brought to completion.
Jesus Christ. Jalzan bids us pick up our legendary weapon. Behold! The legend made manifest in all its glory. None but the realm's most valiant adventurer, her most masterful blacksmith, and her most accomplished alchemist could have recreated this true heir to the weapons of yore. What I have in my hands, my hot little hands at this point, is the Oichibo Zeta. Zeta, that's it. It is the Alpha and the Omega Zeta. It's Redunzo.
How's that bow look, Jen?
Okay, so it looks like a red Urushi finished bow with some decorative gilding and things on it. But when you wield it, it gets all shiny and stuff.
Cool. Shiny and stuff.
Has some gold rotating thingamabobs and some rays of light kind of starbursting out from the thing, and yeah.
The Ragnarok Zeta, Jen, it's like a axe, but there is a superimposed energy axe over it. So there's a bigger energy axe around the inside actual axe.
Uh-huh.
And with that done, we prepare to say our goodbyes.
For the second time, but that's okay. No.
But one thing still bothers Jalzan. Why was the Book of the Netherdark, a priceless resource, never completed nor circulated? So we go and ask Geralt. He explains that he found it when he was collecting tomes from Rowena. The Netherdark is a priceless relic, but she handed it over when Geralt threatened to wed her if she wouldn't.
Yeah, she was only going to part with it for a quote-unquote king's ransom, but then he was like, girl, I'm going to marry you again if you don't hand it over. And she's like, okay.
Because that's how that works.
Right, yeah, like, girl, you could say, like, no thank you. Anyway.
But
anyway.
The book of the Netherdark is actually just a text dump. It has never seen the touch of an editor.
Yeah, it's just like a technical manual that it's just like stuff. So Jalzahn is like, oh, this was written by a scholar. I too am a scholar. Is there a name on the book, like an author? And Geralt is like, I don't know. Let me check. Yes, there is. The name is Ulthalam. And Jalzahn is like, what? Ulthalam? That's the father of my line. That's my ancestor. And then Geralt's like, oh my god, if that's true, then there's some writing scrawled on the back cover. Let me share that with you. After years of careful study, I come to realize that I, Ulthalam, cannot recreate an arm of the Zodiac Braves. I record mine own findings here, that men with like ambition may follow in my footsteps. To the one who succeeds in bringing forth a weapon of the ancient heroes, I leave my eternal admiration and the title of Star Forger, bringer of radiance.
Jalzahn is thrilled.
Jubilant, even.
It's as though it was his destiny to take up this cause and earn the title Star Forger. Oi, interjects Geralt.
Oi!
Who was it who made the bloody thing? And who was it that what found the Book of the Netherdark? Poor ol' unthanked Geralt. So the title is his fair and square. And now Geralt and Jalzahn get into a fist fight over this title they learned about 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, they get into some fisticuffs.
Yeah, the fight escalates and they give like a double knockout where they punch each other at the same time. They both fall over. During
some Hildebrand shit.
During this fight, Jen, Rowena walks up.
Mm-hmm.
It looked to me like she was all gussied up, Jen. Is that correct?
She looked very nice.
Like she put on a special outfit for the occasion.
Yeah.
But she sees this shit going down. She's like, nope. Nah.
But she does, before she walks away, she turns back and has a little bit of a smile for our old unthanked Geralt.
I feel like the implication is that there may have been some reawakened romance, but this display of oafishness has turned off that fire.
Well, she looks at him. The look on her face is like, oh, you.
Jalzahn's return plans are called off again because he has to stay here and he must prove that he is the rightful inheritor. But Geralt won't stop calling himself Starforger. This is like after time passes. They cool down after the fight. Geralt.
Jalzahn is like, all right, you know what? This is a problem. I'm not leaving after all because I want that fucking title and I'll be damned if Geralt takes it. So the time passes, like whatever. Like let's say a month. I don't know. And we go back and Jalzahn is like, I'm still after it. Okay? I'm still perturbed. And so Jalzahn, he is, after all, of the Ulthalam line, the man who penned the freaking book of Zodiac Weapon secrets. Geralt has apparently returned to his mostly drunken ways and has been angrily kettling and asking anyone who will listen to refer to him as Geralt the Star Forger. It's a pretty sweet title, to be fair. And Jalzahn is desperate at this point, and he enlists us to try to talk to Geralt.
Right, because what happens is that whenever Jalzahn tries to go talk to him, Geralt starts wailing away with his hammer at the anvil and drowns out.
Blah, 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 blah.
Exactly.
Fine.
So we head over to Geralt to go intervene, and Geralt informs us that he is at work on yet another kettle. This will be the finest kettle Eorzea has ever seen, and he has a client that will pay a king's ransom for it. This is Geralt's ticket out of debt. But seeing as we're here, why don't we come and help out? After all, we owe him for all that Zodiac Weapon work. And now our character forgets Jalzan's request entirely. We're like, oh, a side quest? We're in. And then we are now on the Kettle mission.
Yep. Though, rewinding just a bit, when we ask Geralt, like, hey man, are you going to drop the title thing or what's going on? And he uses a word, and I had to write it down because I've never seen it, and it's a weird word.
The word is?
Chuntering. I'll use it in a quote. The daft sod's still chuntering, or chunterin', about who gets to call himself the bloody Star Forger, is he? Well, tell him to shut his gob, because it's me and a story. Daft sod is still chunterin'. Chunter. Chunt. Chuntering. The fuck is this word? I didn't look it up.
Well, now we will never know.
It sounds gross. Like it reminds me of the Australian word for puke.
Well, Jen, enough chuntering about that. We now have to begin the Zodiac Kettle saga.
Yeah.
First,
we're going to do this the Zodiac Weapon stuff for this kettle.
Yeah. First, we must bring Geralt 50 pieces of alexandrite so he can give the kettle a beautiful sheen. This means more maps. And once again, we're not done yet. Jen did not believe me that she would have to do all of these maps.
You're like, okay, you're going to need to do this, this, and this, 10 more mysterious maps to get the alexandrite. So when I did a couple of maps, and I saw that they were giving me 5 alexandrite apiece. And I'm like, do I have to do all 10? Because I was running out of tomestones. And I'm like, did you do your math right? Did you check up? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? If I don't have to do all 10, that'd be great. And Levi's like, how many times do you need to question this process? Like, it is what it is. It used to be worse. It used to be you would need to turn in 50 pieces of alexandrite, and you'd probably get like, what, 2? 1 or 2? So you count your blessings. And I'm like, okay, 10-4.
10-5, Jen. 10 times 5 pieces of alexandrite. I will not, Jen. So we do the thing, and we run our 10 maps, and we hand over the alexandrite to Geralt, who pounds it into the kettle. Panting, he exclaims it was like forcing out a 3-day shite. Worth the trouble, though, Jen. Just like a 3-day shite would be.
Unbelievably crass.
He's just calling it like it is.
Yep, he's not a simple man, but he is a man of...
But
he's salt of the earth, he is.
This, Jen, is the finest kettle he has ever made.
The god of kettles!
It wouldn't take more than 60 seconds to make a most crackin' mulled tea.
That's pretty good.
This now begins the mulled tea index, which is what we use to measure the quality of all kettles.
Yeah. Is it a count of 60 quality kettle? Is it a count of 45 quality kettle? This one is apparently a count of 60, which is pretty good.
60-second mulled tea is very good, Jen.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Yes. So, Jalzan walks over as the kettle has just been affixed with all of this alexandrite. He's probably, blinded by its shine. He walks over, and before they get all, the two of them get all riled up again, we're like, okay, settle down, fellas. And we tell Jalzan about the kettle and why it rules. And even Jalzan at this point, he must admit that it is the finest kettle he's ever seen. But I will not be blinded by the waning glimmer of such tawdry wares. Have you no shame, man? And Geralt and I are like, wait, what? Jalzan, he can't hold back any longer. The man who forged the Zodiac Weapon can do better than even this kettle. Okay? And if you're going to put your name on something, it better be perfection. This is not perfection. And Jalzan, at that point, offers his help to Geralt in making the perfect fucking peak kettle. And you know what? Geralt gets a little emotional at this. He's like, you know what, man? You're a real one. I accept your help. We'll do a temporary truce, a ceasefire, and we'll work on this kettle together. So Jalzan, of course, needs his own fucking materials to do his bit.
Right, but Jen, when the kettle is complete, we will settle the matter of the Star Forger title once and for all.
Right.
The implication is if Jalzahn helps Geralt earn the title Star Kettler or whatever, he will back off the Star Forger title.
They both have their own shit going on, but it is clear they respect one another. All right, you guys, you're heading down bromance lane, and you're both fighting against it. Just let it happen.
But Jin, we gotta improve that sheen with 10 bottles of Tavnarian mist.
Great, more tomes.
Which is easy if you have the tomes on hand.
I did not.
Well. So Jalzahn works the mist into the kettle. If there ever were legends born of kitchenware, this would surely warrant a place among them. I give you ultimate kettle zenith.
Whoa!
Geralt declares that Rolgar himself would be proud to have a kettle like that on his table. I bet you could whip up a nice blend of mulled tea in a count of 30 with that.
Whoa!
But just as we're about to call it good, Geralt's assistant Drake makes an appearance. He has bad news. He has just finished fulfilling a large order of kettles for a client at the Rosewood stalls. The thing is that they insisted that the goods be delivered early, so Drake had to forego quality for the sake of speed. He's so sorry, but his substandard kettles take a whole 20 seconds to prepare mulled tea.
Oh.
Maybe when Geralt's done with his masterpiece kettle, he can show it to Drake, and Drake can be inspired by his masterworks. Drake slumps off in embarrassment, and meanwhile, we are standing around this, quote, perfect ultimate kettle, and Drake does not give that a second glance.
Okay, so Geralt and Jalzahn, they mull this information over in a pretty awkward silence. Clearly, right, fellas, our kettle adventure had only just begun, and we can at last engage in the fabrication of the ultimate kettle in earnest, starting now, right? Right, okay, great. So Geralt's like, oh, you thought we were done? Psh, that was just like the roughing out stage, man. You know,
our character looks incredulous during this.
We're like,
you've got to be kidding me.
Come on, I'm so done.
As is Jin.
So to finish the kettle, Jalzahn thinks he can fill the kettle with his quasi-soul concoction, right? And then boil it down so it's all like nice and coated in like the most efficient way possible. But to do that, he's going to need, and I quote, flames from the bowels of an inferno. We fucking know where this is going. The fiercest of gales to fan them, and the stoutest earth to contain them. So we're going to do primal shit. Again.
Extreme primal shit.
Again.
Of course.
Jin, so we do that.
The ultimate kettle does not come without a cost.
Apparently not. Yeah, and apparently Drake is just over there whipping up amazing ass fucking kettles. Just like, in his sleep.
But we gather it and we return. Geralt and Jalzahn set to work, producing a kettle that glows with potency. A true kettle o' legend. The finest piece of pottery Eorzea will ever see. Ultimate Kettle Nexus. Armed with such a kettle, one could prepare a flawless mulled tea in the count of 10, no 5, mayhap even less.
That's magic. That's unheard of.
This kettle is going to make Geralt's reputation. People far and wide will clamor for such a kettle. And with his soon-to-be-realized reputation, Geralt is willing to yield the Star Forger title to Jalzahn. For now. But here comes Drake to screw things up once more.
Oh, right. He's like, hey, so I was just checking up on that the order, for this kettle, and they ordered it like so long ago that they canceled it. Geralt's like, I'm sorry? What? Like his entire future was balanced on the edge of this friggin' kettle. And he's like, well, how long ago did they place the order? And Drake is like, 2 years ago. And, now Geralt is despairing, and then suddenly he's going through all the steps of grief in a hot second. So he's despairing, and then he does all this other stuff, and then he's mad at Jalzon. It's Jalzon's fault. He is this whole thing. I lost track of all my shit when you walked up when you wanted to do all of Zodiac Weapon stuff. This is totally your fault. Insinuating this entire process would have taken us 2 years of our life in Eorzea.
Right.
Holy shit.
1 year plus of Jen's life.
I mean, it almost took us 2 years in real life.
Yeah, there you go. You're feeling it.
So the truce or whatever, the brief moment of understanding between these two guys is done. They're at fisticuffs.
Geralt is keeping the Star Forger title. At least he'll have that. He still is in debt, but he's got his title, and Jalzon's like, hell no, and they get into another fist fight, and they end with one more double knockout. And Drake's like, welp, here's a kettle for you, At least you've got this for all the work you put in. He's
like, why don't you take it, and then if you want any other nice kettles, you can just come and ask me.
And that is the end of the Zodiac Kettle saga and the Zodiac Weapon saga. We now have our very own 5-second kettle to put in our house. We can whip out some 5-second mulled tea.
Hell yeah. And the glowy-ass kettle. It is an outdoor furnishing.
Yep. You done it, Jen. Congrats.
Thank you. Congratulations to you also. You ended up with, a thing.
I know, but I've done it before.
All right, well, then I take it back.
Good.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. Jen, how does it feel?
Fine. It's fine.
Great.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
The problem being, of course, there are numerous beautiful weapons in this game.
I know. It's like it's in good company.
Yeah,
it's like not super amazing. Like my last Savage tier summoner, my grimoire, has like a similar vibe. I'm not saying anything new here, but yeah.
No, unless you love the look of a weapon, then it's really, I guess,
don't worry about
they're not that special, honestly. Even like during their current expansion, they'll be maybe like 5 to 10 item level higher than like the next best piece of thing. And if you're doing Savage, then it's on par with your Savage gear.
Right.
So
yeah.
It is really, I guess,
it's just part of the glam end game meta.
However much you are rewarded by putting the work into it. Like if you're like, I put in this many hours to this thing and I got this and I love that feeling, then congrats.
Yeah.
Jen does not have that feeling.
I mean, we could have been done with this. I mean, it's the only reason it took, a year and a half is because of the nature of the formatting of the podcast.
Yes.
But it's not because it actually takes that long.
No, but still
it's a considerable commitment.
Yes.
Considerable. You have to be super okay with grind after grind after grind after grind.
Yep.
So make sure it's something you are extraordinarily passionate about.
But none of the relics are as difficult in terms of the commitment as a Realm Reborn relic. Typical. So when we do the Heaven's Ward relic, Jen, it'll be easy breezy.
I believe you.
Great.
Yeah.
In general, I like the look of a lot of other weapons more than the relic weapons. The extreme trial weapons, in a lot of cases, are phenomenal in general.
Yeah. They're like, they're themey and glowy and all of that shit already.
And much more accessible.
Yeah.
But I will say, though, that I saw when I was leveling Gunbreaker, the relic weapon for the Shadowbringers expansion, and I was like, oh shit, I want that.
Well, yeah. Like you'll do what you got to do to get a thing that you love, and that was me with the Major General. I was like, this minion thing that y'all got going on in this game, it's stupid. This is visual clutter. I hate it. And then I saw the Major General. I'm like, well, I want him. So then I immediately got into fishing and ocean fishing and got him like right away.
Yep.
And then the sweet black mage rod from, this was a PvP thing.
Yes.
And so I had to engage in PvP to get this freaking rod.
Which Jen hates.
Yeah, I got in and I got out as soon as I could. but it's so sweet.
That's the eyeball rod, to clarify.
So good. Yeah, it's got like a sun and a moon, and then the sun in the center like swivels around when you wield it, and it's a giant eyeball. It's so awesome. And it's dyeable.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So you like what you like, of course. That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Don't just get it. I mean, if you gotta get a whole collection, a whole suite of stuff because that's your jam, then go for it.
Yep. Otherwise, though, follow your heart.
Follow your heart. Don't do it just to do it. Do it because you wanna.
Or because you are morally obligated to because you have a podcast.
Or that.
About doing the stuff.
Yep.
All right, Jen, any other comments?
No, we're done. We're fucking done. I'm walking away.
Fucking done.
I'm walking away. I'm getting a beer.
Not yet, Jen. 1, you're going to have a milkshake, not a beer. Don't lie.
Fine.
2,
it's too early for milkshake.
You still owe us our outro. And 3, before your outro, Jen, thing 3, part 1. When this goes out, there should still be time to join our minimum item level Labyrinth of the Ancients run. So hop on over to the Discord and get in on that good stuff if you want to get the min eye level experience. It is a different dungeon entirely, different raid entirely, whatever, than what you get in ADR.
Make some friends.
On min eye level.
And make some friends.
Yes, and make friends through your shared suffering. The other thing is next time we are going to be doing the post-Moogle quests. So, Jen is looking alarmed? I don't know.
I have no idea what these are. I literally, none idea. Sorry. I don't have to care about everything in this game because there's too much.
That is so rude, Jen. Well, you're going to care next time.
Apparently it will make me care.
Mark my words. So we'll see you, Jen.
Thank you all so much for listening, and thank you for bringing your weapons to completion. If you want to get in touch with us, you can at podreturnffxiv@gmail.com. Check the show notes for our Discord. Pop in there and join us for some group runs, share images of your glams, pets, talk about all sorts of stuff. It's a really great group of people, and we would love to have more great people. You can also find us on Blue Sky at podreturnffxiv. And lastly, our Patreon, patreon.com/podreturnffxiv. And for $1 a month, you get access to other stuff we do, such as the seasonal events in 14 and our Final Fantasy XI series, Vanadiel Vansplainer. So check it out. And with that, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a good day or night, and we will see you next time.